Hi, this is Ms. Shepard, 6th grade teacher. In this video, we want to focus on using like terms and substitution to find equivalent expressions. We will be focusing on standard 6.EE.4. Identify when two expressions are equivalent, i.e., when the two expressions name the same number regardless of which value is substituted into them. We're also going to refer back to 6.EE.3. Apply the properties of operations to generate equivalent expressions. Our lesson objectives are to recognize and generate equivalent expressions using properties and to substitute values into expressions to prove equivalency. One thing we need to understand before we move any further is like terms. The definition says two or more terms in a variable expression that have the same variable factors. If I look at this example, 3y plus 4y plus 5x, I notice that 3y and 4y have the same variable. Therefore, they are like terms and can be combined. But 3y and 5y have different variables. Therefore, they are not like terms and cannot be combined. Let's work a problem together. Are y plus 2y minus 3 and 3 parentheses y minus 1 in parentheses equivalent expressions? Explain. Use the properties of operations and combine like terms. As I look at the problem, y plus 2y minus 3, I notice I have two terms that have y. When y stands by itself, there's an invisible 1 in front. So I want to add 1y plus 2y, which gives me 3y. Now my problem is 3y minus 3. I'm seeing two 3's here. That tells me something. 3 is a factor of 3y and 3. So we can pull it out from both numbers. By that I mean divide. 3y divided by 3 equals y. And 3 divided by 3 equals 1. I can now use the distributive property and write 3 in front with my parentheses y minus 1. So are they equivalent expressions? Yes, absolutely. Another way to determine if they're equivalent expressions is to use substitution. Let's let y equal 5. I tend to pick easy numbers like 5 and 10 that we can easily multiply. There's no need to make this more complicated for ourselves. I write both expressions, replacing the y with 5. If I look at the problem on the first side, 5 plus 2 times 5 minus 3, I want to solve the multiplication first. 2 times 5 is 10. Now I can add and subtract from left to right. 5 plus 10 is 15 minus 3 gives me 12. Let's look at the other expression. This is again the distributive property. So I want to take 3 through both numbers. 3 times 5 minus 3 times 1. 3 times 5 gives me 15, and 3 times 1 gives me 3. Here again, I have 15 minus 3, which will also give me 12. Which expression is equivalent to 2 plus 3n plus 2 plus 9n? Take a minute, pause the video, come up with your answer to this problem. I rewrote the problem at the bottom so that I could walk through the steps. I want to combine like terms using the properties. I notice that I have terms with n and I have whole number terms. I want to group them together. So I'm going to say 3n plus 9n plus 2 plus 2. When I combine 3n plus 9n, I get 12n. Then I want to add 2 plus 2, and I get 4. My problem is now 12n plus 4. That's not one of my answer choices. Think about the distributive property. What factor goes into 4 and 12? 4. So I can divide each term by 4 to write it as the distributive property. Putting 4 on the outside, 4 goes into 12 3 times, which would become 3n, and 4 goes into 4 one time, which would become 1. As I look, C is my correct answer. Don't feel bad if you got it wrong. Carla chose D as the correct answer. We know C is the correct answer now. So how did she get that answer? Let's look at D. What do you notice is different between C and D? The number 4. So what did Carla forget to do? She did not factor 4 out of 4 when she applied the distributive property. Let's work one more problem together. Jayla's living room is 12 feet long and 10 feet wide. Her dining room is also 10 feet wide. Write two equivalent expressions that each represent the combined area of the two rooms. Here I have an illustration for you. If I put my numbers where they go, I want you to think about area, what you know about area. Pause the video for a second and come up with an answer. As I look at the problem, I want to find the combined area of the two rooms, and I know that area is length times width. So combined area is length times the combined width. I want to add 12 plus x. So 10 times 12 plus x. That's one expression. Combined area is also the area of the living room and the area of the dining room. So I could say area equals length times width plus length times width, which would be 10 times 12 plus 10 times x. Another expression we could use to represent this problem. I could also take that and simplify it by saying 10 times 12 is 120, and 10 times x would be 10x. So, lastly, 120 plus 10x would also be an equivalent expression to solve this problem. Things to remember as you work. Use 5 or 10 when substituting for a variable if it doesn't give you a number, because they're easy to multiply with and it makes it easy to check for equivalent expressions. Use properties to rearrange the problems. And when using the distributive property, make sure you carry the factor through both numbers. I hope this video helped. Thanks for watching.